We are in trouble. We're white. Black wants to give a checkmate in one move. Our king has no legal moves, so we have to find some miracle. And we have to look for what? Yes, stalemate. But there's one problem. We have a rook on the board, so we have to give it up. We have two ways to give up this rook on g8. One of the stalemate traps is rook a8, and if rook takes rook, it's stalemate. The second one is rook g3. First, let's take a look at this trap. If black takes on g3, it's over, it's a draw. So black has to go to e4. Now white can set up one more trap by rook f3, but actually this is a wrong thing to do. Black will not capture this rook, he will give a check. For example, if king g2, promote the pawn, and transition into a winning pawn endgame. After this, on the next move, black goes either to g2 or e2, and then he pushes his f-pawn. So setting up a trap like this is not good. White can just do rook b3, cutting off third rank. If black plays f3, white can set up one more trap by rook e3. Now, black cannot capture because of stalemate. If the king goes to f4, defending this pawn, white can capture on f3 and then capture on f2. And it's over. If black tries to go around with the king, then rook f3 and he picks up the f2 pawn. He's not afraid of pawn ending because it's a draw. Let's talk about the other trap. And here the issue is that black doesn't have to capture a rook. He can just escape with his rook. Now rook e1 is the threat. If rook a1, black can enter pawn endgame after rook e1. And after this, king g2, the f-pawn promotes and wins the game. So, white can try to give a check on a3. Black covers. White cannot take on e3 because of king e3 and this. We saw what happens after rook a1. Let's try to keep this rook on the third rank, rook c3. The rook is off limits because of stalemate, but now black can go king g3, leaving e2 available to the king. Actually, now the rook on c3 is attacked, because it's not stalemate anymore. White has to leave the third rank by rook c1, but now again we have the same endgame. After this, king g2 and the pawn is being pushed.